Hi, welcome to my kitchen. If we have not met before, my name is Angela. I am a family educator. I am a preventionist, meaning that I help individuals, families, and communities figure out what keeps kids healthy into their adult lives, what lessens the likelihood that kids will engage in risky behaviors, which of course, if they do, makes it more likely in their lives that they will have harder, or we say poorer, life outcomes. Kids who engage in risky behaviors, things like drugs and alcohol, that kind of thing, at an early age are far more likely to drop out of school, teen pregnancy, all kinds of stuff anyway. All the stuff we're trying to avoid with our kids. But that's not actually what we talk about so much, because the reality is that most of the work that we do at home. And so as a parent educator, one of the things that I can tell you is that there are just some small things that families do that actually make their lives a lot easier. And so I get on these very quick videos, and since I'm inviting you in my kitchen, I try and make something every time. And if it's worth sharing, I'll share my recipe. And then I give you a couple of quick tips on what you can do in order to strengthen your family. And so that's what we're doing today. Today, I am going to tell you a story while I make for you what I am lovingly calling, don't share this with everyone, poop muffins. The reason why we call them that in my family is because my delightful sister-in-law created the original recipe, and she created this recipe. I think actually her mom created it, now that I think about it. The recipe was created with a lot of fiber in it. And so our family lovingly called them poop muffins, but it's absolutely delicious. They're usually just kind of a mixed flour muffin that has a lot of really healthy ingredients for you. And it's one of those things that when I serve it, now our kids are grown. We only have one left at home. We have 8 kids, one left at home. And when I do make them and serve them, I just don't tell anybody that they're healthy, because Leslie, my beautiful sister-in-law who shared this recipe, or at least the original recipe with me, I think I'll just use all the little red ones because these look too big. When Leslie shared the recipe with me, I just tweaked it just a little bit, because there's healthy and then there's please don't make me eat that. And so I made it a little bit more delicious. Don't tell Leslie. So here's, as I'm making this, we'll share the recipe in the show notes or on Facebook or wherever you happen to be watching this. But I usually just share one very quick, what can we do? Oh, look, there's 12. One very quick, what can we do skill. But today I want to actually share with you something that's very interesting about me. At least I like to think it is. And that is that I use this phrase in my family that has become like kind of iconic. By the way, I actually don't cook very much, very often. And even when I do cook, it has to be something that I'm doing decently well, or nobody's actually going to eat it. So I do have to focus a little bit. But I use this phrase in my family all the time where, and we use it with each other now, where if something goes wrong, we say to the kids or each other, my husband and I, "You're not dying," which we use as a joke. But I want to tell you a little bit about how communication as you're raising kids can actually come off a little bit more harshly. So this is one of those situations where I'm kind of tattling on myself. So using this phrase, "You're not dying," or "You ain't dying," we say that, I say that a lot. We actually all say that a lot now. But there are situations where they are upset or they are frustrated, and using kind of a flippant, "You're not dying," or whatever phrase you happen to be using, doesn't necessarily always open doors. So I want to talk today about a couple of different things. The first thing that I want to talk about today is this idea of love listening. And now, can I just share with you that the reason that I've ever in my adult life, as I was raising kids, used a phrase like that, or now we just do it jokingly, but the idea that when things go wrong with your kids, sometimes you pause to say, it's not that big a deal. Sometimes it's not just that you're pausing to say it's not that big a deal, but because maybe it is a big deal to them and maybe not so much to me, but maybe you're just like dismissing it, because when you dismiss it, what you're saying is it's going to be okay. And so because we get a little bit like that pit in your stomach when something goes wrong with your kids, we don't always answer correctly. So I want to talk about a couple of different skills that you can use that will actually increase the likelihood that they listen to you and not decrease it the way that I have decreased it when I add a flippant answer. All right, but before we do that, let me just give you our quick, and again, we're going to put this recipe if it turns out okay, and I'll even put some pictures of how it looks, but I'm now calling these the gut-friendly cherry oat muffins. You're welcome. You can use that name yourself. So I need a cup of oats as we're doing this. All right. So the first skill that I'm going to talk about is this skill that we call love listening, because sometimes just saying you ain't dying is not going to land properly with your kids. But maybe you don't use that term. Maybe you use the term like you're fine, or it's not that big a deal, or you'll get over it, or like I'm sure every kid's favorite thing. Who opened this oatmeal before me? Or like I'm sure every kid's favorite thing where we say you'll get over it, or like that happens to everyone at that age. It just doesn't feel that way, you guys. You know what I mean? So we have to be able, if we really want to keep the door open to our kids so that they actually are coming to us, it doesn't feel good to them if we're dismissive of what is bothering them. In case you didn't know, you really are in my kitchen, and I am going to pull out, I was actually making another recipe, so please hold while I grab this other recipe. So in case this is the way that you would like to cook on fast speed, I thought I'd do this for you. So just a quick what we ended up putting in here: oats, whole wheat flour, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, salt, eggs. I used avocado oil, but you can use other oil. Some vanilla yogurt, which I actually happen to have. Some milk, some brown sugar. I just used a brown sugar substitute, some vanilla. And then I'm going to stick these cherries and strawberries, blueberries kind of thing that I found, literally found an unopened pack in the cupboard yesterday. So those are clearly going all the way in. I threw in a little flaxseed, chia seeds just for fun. That way people get a little healthier and they don't even realize it. And then I'm just going to pop in here. I had some nuts. I'm going to throw those in. Preheated my oven. I'm going to throw these into muffins, into like my little muffin things here, and then we're good to go. I'll let you know how they are at the end, actually. All right, so here's the skill. This is what we're talking about when we talk about the skill, because when our kids are frustrated, they're angry, and we want to solve the problem quickly, a lot of times we dismiss it. That's kind of been my default. But I know that it's not going to help them if I default to fixing it like that. So instead, what you want to do is, here's just some practical advice. Your kid says something either out of anger or something that like makes your stomach go, ooh, something seems to be going on with them. Just take a beat. Just breathe. Just take a beat, just for a minute. Here's the thing. When you take a beat, it gives you an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? There's probably an answer or response that I could give here that's going to be so helpful. When you take the beat, I want you to remember this idea. L-U-V, listen, love listen, L-U-V. And this skill is really one of the best ones that you can use for hearing what they have to say. A lot of times parents will say, well, I don't agree with them. And so I don't want to love listen, which is listen, understand, and validate. I don't want to love listen because I don't agree with them. You don't have to agree with them. The first thing you do is listen. And listening to them, you have to do it in the way that they receive it the best. Sometimes the way you listen to them, the way that they like to be listened to, depending on their personality and the situation, is side by side. In other words, it's kind of like if you could sit on a couch or in a car where you're sitting next to each other, because then what happens is the problem isn't between us, the problem is out there. And we are working on the problem, or it's like us against the problem, you know? So side by side, very, very helpful in communicating. The other thing in listening is it's exactly like you already do with other people in your life. It's when you listen to somebody, you're listening to them fully with your heart, not just your ears, and you're listening to understand. So you already do this, and you do it with your kiddos. But sometimes when they get really grouchy, or like, you know, they kind of act like we're the enemy, it can be so painful for us that, I'm just going to mix the wet and the dry. It can be so painful for us that we forget that we're their ally. And it's not that we're not their allies, or like we want to be against them, but it just gets our back up, right? Like our kid suddenly doesn't like us anymore, or they're angry at us, and we didn't even do anything. And it can be painful and it can hurt. Sorry, I got to get my spatula. And because of all of that, it actually makes it harder for us to listen in the way that we really need to hear what's going on with them. So try and listen to them with your full heart. Give them your ear so that they can tell you the things that are really important to them. And again, understanding and validating. Understanding is just repeating back what they said. Here's what I hear you saying, or what I think you're saying is this, and let them correct you. If you're wrong, it's okay. Let them correct what you said. No, Mom, I didn't say that at all. What I said is this. That's okay. Don't get offended. Let it go. Now, friends, I'm telling you this like it's easy to do, but it's not easy to do, because your heart is also mixed up in this situation. And likely, if you are enjoying this video, it's because you've already gotten to a place with your kids, or they've gotten to a place with us where it's already painful. And so I'm asking you to do something a little bit different. And then the third thing, the final thing, friends, is to validate. You don't have to agree to validate. Once you've listened with your full heart, you've sat next to them, or you're in the car, you heard everything they said, you have repeated, not in a weird way, back what they said, and in whatever language you would use. If you don't talk like that and you suddenly start talking like that, they might be like, why is she talking that way? Why is he saying that? But that's okay. Press through. New skills are awkward in the beginning. And then finally you validate. That must be really hard. Or I can see that that would really bother you. So what you're doing is, you don't have to agree. They could be saying something totally different than what you believe, or what you think, or what you know is okay. And so you're just validating. It sounds like that's really hard for you. And it sounds like you've got more to think about there. Let me know if you need me to help think things through. And then drop it. Let it go. Because what you're doing is you're opening a door. And they have to walk through the door. But the more doors you open, the more likely they are to walk through them. I'm going to finish making these muffins. But before I do, friends, let me just tell you, after all of that, every once in a while, you are still going to catch me saying, you ain't dying. Go out there and do some good parenting. Leave messages for us on Facebook if you have questions. Go ahead and ask them. You can also always reach us at deltaprevention.org. You can get our classes. We have a podcast called Good Friends, Strong Families. We have all different ways that you can reach out to us and that we get information to you. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye.